Hello everyone, my name is Shonda and welcome to my channel Under the Needle. So today's video is going to be a little bit different because this is a product review and demo exclusively. So this is for the Oliso, oh Lord, I can't remember, the name is so long. It's the Oliso 1600 TG ProPlus Smart Iron. And this is the Missouri Star edition. So this is exclusive to, this design is exclusive to Missouri Star. We've got Jenny's name, we've got the Missouri Star logo, and we've got the Missouri Star colors. Super cute. And it's like that on both sides. So let me tell you a little bit about this iron. I've been using it exclusively for 4 months. Pretty much before then I had a Rowenta iron that I really liked. And, but I was just kind of drawn in by the cuteness of this iron, and I kind of wanted to give it a try. So I'm going to tell you some of the features. Most of them I don't use, okay? So it is a steam iron, right? And then it has this diamond ceramic sole plate, which is supposed to make it easy to clean and make it glide easily over your fabrics. I have not had to clean it, but I do find that it glides nicely. We have steam, so we have no steam, and then we have low steam, and then we have a medium steam. It's kind of hard to see, and then we have a high steam option. If you notice this solid red line, this solid red light is because the iron is off. If the iron is turned on and it's just not hot enough, then the light, well, not hot enough, but if the iron is turned on, if it uses the auto off feature, then instead of a solid red, it'll be a flashing red. When it's heating up, it'll be a flashing green, and then once it's hot, it'll be a solid green. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back off so I don't burn myself. We have a swivel cord, which is nice. This is super convenient to have. And then we have steam burst and then a spray. And then here's our spray here. And then, of course, the main thing about this iron is that when you touch the handle, it goes down. And when you take your hand off, it pops back up. It does have a water reservoir, which I don't use. Now, in the prior one, not this, so the TG1600 Pro, this is the Pro Plus. And the prior iron, there was a place in the back where you could disable the up-down feature. And to me, that's kind of what kills this iron for me. Because when you are ironing something large, a larger piece of fabric, sometimes you may want to iron and then you might want to go to switch hands, and you kind of have to go like that to switch hands. Or if you're ironing and then you want to turn the other way, you kind of have to use both hands because it pops back up on you, and maybe you're not ready for it to do that. So even though this is supposed to be an upgrade over the 1600 Pro, I find that that's a detriment, that they should have left that option. Now you can sit the iron on its heel like a traditional iron. You can, you know, sit it on its booty. So you can do that. But if you have water in here, I found that when there's water in the iron and I leave it sitting up, that the iron will tend to leak. So there's that. I also find that the steam is a bit lacking. So these are all the steam holes. That's it. That's not that many. Compared to my Rowenta, it had like tons and tons and tons of steam holes that this does not have. So for me, this works better as a dry iron. It does have settings, and, you know, it has synthetic, wool and silk, linen, and cotton. I keep mine all the way on full blast because I'm always sewing cotton exclusively. I exclusively use this for quilting, so I have no need for any of these other settings. I don't use the steam settings at all. I don't put water in here anymore just because I don't find that it's really effective as a steam iron due to the lack of holes. So if I am ironing a whole piece of fabric, I would rather grab my Rowenta and use that. But for small pre-cuts, if you're ironing charm packs, layer cakes, jelly roll squares, some binding strips, a fat quarter even, you can go ahead and use this. But if I've got you know, 20 fat quarters to iron, I'd much rather go grab my Rowenta and really get the steam going, because I don't pre-wash my fabric. So I find that having a heavy steam helps to give that fabric a little bit of shrinkage so that I have less shrinkage when I'm actually doing my piecing. For me, this iron shines as a dry iron. I'm going to turn this puppy on. To me, this is the best dry iron I've ever used. So although I find it lacking as a steam iron, and although I don't like the fact that they took away that ability to stop the iron from lifting up and down, I do feel like those are drawbacks, because like I said, if you're like, when I am ironing a fat quarter, it's super annoying to be, you know, ironing, and then maybe I want to, you know, turn this in the other direction, and I have to like play musical hands on the iron in order to make that happen. So that to me, that makes the iron lose a star. But I'm going to show you how this works as a dry iron. I've got some half square triangles here that I had pieced for a completely unrelated project, and I'm just going to set the seam here because we have a solid green line, and that solid green, sorry, light. We have a solid green light, which means that our iron is hot. It does heat up very quickly, maybe 30 seconds. All right, so I'm just going to peel this back. And so I do find it, like I said, it works well as a dry iron. So nice and flat, no issues. So once I do this, though, I would like to give it a burst of steam. But again, I just don't like to keep water in this iron because I don't use the steam function very much. And because I don't use the steam function, I don't want the iron to start to have any issues because there's water in it all the time because I'm never using steam. But I find it really effective as a dry iron. Better than my Rowenta. So, and I would try to demo that for you, but there would be no way for you to tell the difference in flatness between me using the Rowenta and me using this. Like it wouldn't show or translate well on camera, but I just get really flat, really nice flat seams using this as a dry iron. So for me personally, when I'm doing a large piece of fabric, or if I have a lot of fat quarters that I need to press, I'd rather grab and bust out my old Rowenta iron and use the steam function, and then use this for piecing. So that's kind of how I like to do, how I like to use it. I like to use this for piecing. I wouldn't like not recommend this iron, but I don't, for me, this could not be my only iron for me. I know a lot of people have this iron. They use it exclusively. It's their only iron. They love it. They adore it. They think it's the best thing since sliced bread. But for me, I can get around the steam part, right? Because I can always use a spray bottle. And in some ways, it's better to use a spray bottle than to have water in your iron anyway. So I could get on board with the lack of steam. But for me, removing the option to stop the up-down function of the iron was not an upgrade. So this is supposed to be the upgraded iron, yet they removed a very useful feature. So, I mean, if out of 5 stars, I'd probably give it a 3.5. Because it looks great, it works great as a dry iron, but unfortunately for me as a steam iron, it falls flat, and the inability to disable the up-down function has been removed. So I'm going to continue to use this iron because it is very expensive, so I'm going to use it, but I would not buy another one. So that is my personal opinion and my review of the Oliso TG1600 ProPlus Smart Iron. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll be down in the comments for about an hour or two intermittently. So if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. And until then, I will see you next video.